I'm so grateful to be here. Oh my gosh, yeah. Glory to God. I would not be here if it weren't for God's call. And that's really important because essentially I didn't want to be here. Like, not in a personal way, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of what I had to sacrifice to be here, it's something I never would have done. It was mainly financially. It was really hard for me. It was a big push. And yet I felt the Spirit of the Lord telling me, you have to go, you have to go.
Yes.
And for 2 weeks after I made that choice, all I was slain in the Spirit every single day. So something that the Lord has been speaking to me recently is about sacrifice, and I really want to talk about what this means. We can only be in sacrifice when we're in Spirit, but in the Lord's Spirit. Because we live in a spiritual realm. There's spiritual darkness, and there's spiritual light, and the light is God. The light is goodness. Sin, evil exists. We have to be aware of this. So you can sacrifice to the wrong things. And that's what the matrix is. It wants to confuse you. It wants to deceive you into thinking that you are making sacrifices that are of worth. Sacrifices of your soul, of your body, of your intentions, of your purpose. And you can gain things through that sacrifice, but it leads to death. There is a second part to this, but first I want to segue into my experience the past 48 hours. Because getting here, y'all, was insane, okay? And this segues into this concept of sacrifice and really what I want to speak into. So I make this decision to go on this trip, and it was really hard in the first place, and I'm like, God, I'm going for you, and I'm going to serve. Like, this is not about me. I'm going to speak, you know, if I can even speak one thing that makes a difference, that's all I care about. And so what ended up happening, I wake up at 3 a.m., go to the airport, and then my first flight gets delayed, then it gets delayed again, and then they find a new plane that is operable, but then at that point, they said, oh, the crew is off shift at this point, so we're gonna cancel the flight, okay? All the while, all the people, like, I don't know what it was, but these were like the most angry, mean people ever that I was sharing this flight with. They were like screaming literally at the flight attendants. They were throwing things. And not just one group, but like pretty much everybody that was on this flight was just tyrannical in their anger. But I said, God, you're doing something here. And show me how I can be positioned to do something for you. Because I have all this time. Like, what can I do, right? So God starts bringing people to me. First thing he did is he attracted children to me. He surrounded me with a group of children that had really mean parents. I know that they felt safe in my presence because I was just gone. And then I started talking to people. Anyways, all these details, I get on another flight, and I'm praying to the Lord. I said, God, I really would love to have a videographer because I'm doing a vlog for this whole trip. So you know what the Lord sends me? He sends me this man. He was a videographer for Discovery Channel for 7 years. And I'm carrying around this 30-pound bag. He's like, here, let me carry your bag, and I'm gonna help you film. So he films this video for me, like, just like B-roll, you know what I mean? In the airport. I prayed for that. Then I have a flight that night. I'm gonna miss it. So I'm sprinting across the airport because everything was delayed, all the crazy timing. I was just trying to make things work, right? So I have this really late flight. I prayed to the Lord again. I'm like, God, I need someone to carry my bag because it's literally like 30 pounds. And I have a roller bag and all these things. I'm like, God, just send me someone to carry my bag. So he sends me this wonderful man, this other man. And I'm like, here, can you take my bag? And he's like, sure. and then so we sprint across the entire airport. Anyways, he ends up being a Christian, and the Lord started giving me visions for him.
Wow.
And so I got to speak a word into his life. And so then he gets me to the flight with 4 minutes to spare. And then I'm about to load, and they say, we can't let you on because you were never registered in our system. The airlines, they never actually registered my flight. So and I had to stay the night at the airport. I end up wearing all of my clothes that are in my suitcase. And I'm like, this is hard. Like, I would have already been in Miami for hours. I had a wonderful place to stay. And But I was thinking back on the whole day of delays of flights. And I prayed for two men that day, straight to their heart, that I never would have met if my flights had been different, if I had made it here on time. And so the Lord positioned me for that. And so I'm laying on the ground, and I'm freezing cold. I was shivering. I didn't really sleep. And the Lord was showing me all the suffering was worth it, you know? And then he was also highlighting, he's like, this pain that you feel, like this tiredness, this coldness, like this is what a life looks like that's separate from me. Because all day I saw evil, you know? These angry people that don't know anything different. That's all they know is the pain and the suffering and the hurting. They don't know the joy of the Lord. They don't know literally what the purpose is that it's to, first of all, know the love of God and then to spread it, right? It's not the circumstances that we're supposed to focus on. When you glorify the stuff and the things, you will always be disappointed. Because the flights get delayed. They even get canceled. Your plans are not going to go according to how you always want them to go. Can you imagine if you just got everything you wanted in this life with no contrast? Aren't we actually grateful that we have contrast? It shows us that we should be grateful. And when I was on my next flight yesterday morning, the Lord put me next to a Christian man, and he made me cry. He blessed me, he touched me, because he just started talking about his relationship with God. I'm just like, how are there all these people that are undercover? You would never imagine what God has done in their lives. And it's like, why the main narrative, what we have on the radio, what we have on TV, all of this stuff, it's meant to keep us distracted and it's focused on the negative. And yet there is actually so much good, more than we even realize. Women say, I can't find any good men. Good men are all around.
Yes.
They really are.
Yes.
And so he made me cry. I was so touched, and thank you, Jesus. So I'm so grateful that it didn't go according to how I thought. And it's just like this little, 48-hour segment that I suffered and things didn't go quite as I hoped. And yet, I know now in retrospect, this was the Lord's plan. And I know this for each and every one of your single lives. Like the contrast, the darkness that you've been through, the Lord has positioned you right now in this time for a special reason, a special purpose, but it's only if you would posture yourself. It's only if you would believe it. I had to say, God, I feel disappointed, I'm frustrated, all these things, and yet I'm looking for what you're wanting to do with this thing. And so he brought people to me, people that I could pray for. And then he provided the tools, the gifts, like visions and all these things. Like, none of this is of my own power. And none of it is of your own power as well. And we know it doesn't come from ourselves. Alicia knows that. All you felt was broken. All you felt was the wrong one. And yet, God's Spirit came over and he said, no, I've actually created you for greatness. My love is stamped over your life. And so when we partner with that, that is what makes the difference. And, oh my gosh, yeah. And then last night, God didn't even tell me until last night what I was going to speak about. He told me far in advance, do not write anything out. Like, it's going to just come to you. It's just going to flow. And that's something I'm really learning. Like, I can let go of control. If I'm just here to serve the Lord, if I would just posture myself and be ready, he's going to speak through me. He's going to speak through every single one of you. Right now, God's giving you stuff on your heart. And it's a little small voice. Do not put that aside. That is literally the Spirit of the Lord. But his glory is made manifest through the degree to which you will have faith and sacrifice yourself at any level to make it happen. Madison knows this for real. Totally. Her whole journey of stepping outside of the status quo and, oh my gosh, being isolated, having no friends, and yet the Lord gave you a vision. Now here you are.
Yeah, look at all the friends we have.
And so, Sacrifice, it's big. It's a beautiful thing. The Lord has just broken me down and battered and bruised. I started bleeding this morning. I've only had like 3 hours of good sleep. And yet, from my brokenness, I am able to serve at the greatest capacity. I truly believe this is what the Lord meant for me to speak today. And it only could have happened having gone through this experience. And I could tell you my whole story, because this little airplane thing is just a symbolism of the bigger picture. Like, big contrast I have been through. And I mean, that's a whole other thing for another time, but I mean, I shouldn't even be here today. I wanted to, end myself so long ago. Because there's no hope when you set your eyes on the world. Where can I find my value from the world? It's only from God. Only. The whole reason why any of us are here today is because of God. Whether we've come to that low a place or not, literally the Lord created you. You were an idea in His mind and He made you manifest. So it's all for a purpose, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.